Hello, everyone. Adam here from 3 Count Radio. Happy New Year. And here today, I have Loudmouth Charlie Crothers. And today, we're going to go through the top 10 of the ones to watch. Because we couldn't just choose one top 10, so we thought a top 10 for the men and a top 10 for the women.
Well, it had to be, didn't it? Because the scene like this year has been like bursting with talent, whether that be tag teams or men or women. Like it's just been bursting out to the scenes. So there's a reason why we did 2 top 10s, and that's because neither men nor women have failed to disappoint. And the only way is up, really.
There's a song in there somewhere.
Yeah, the only way is up.
So what do you want to do for that? Do you want to do the men first?
Yeah, we'll do the men first.
Who first, you or me?
Okay, you go first. It's your podcast, you go first.
One name I've got here is a gentleman, and I think a certain lady would be very happy to put this person on my list. It is Mr. Scotty Rock.
Yes, he's on my list as well.
It would be horrific of us to miss him out.
Absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal.
He not only is he an absolute saint of a human being, but you blink and you've missed about 10 moves already. You can't look away from his matches.
Yes, exactly. Like there's, I said this on Twitter the other week, like when he was doing his 2021 retrospective. Scotty Rourke is one of these wrestlers who I've been introduced to this year, like properly. I know he's done BWR up in Grimsby because that's his local, like, sort of home ground. But I've only, like, properly been introduced to him this year. Now, there's not been one Scotty Rourke match where I've just walked away and gone, that's been all right. It's just been, that was great. That was great, and he's put on a fantastic show stealer of a match. Like, next week, I can't make the Extreme show next week, which I'm king gutted. It's the only TNT show I can't make all year, and they put on Scotty Rourke versus Robbie X. Fuck me. What a match that is going to be. What a match that is going to be.
Oh, that was built up from Extreme first, wasn't it?
It was it a three-way?
Three-way, I think it was.
Nico Angelo, Robbie X, and Scotty Rourke. And Nico Angelo got pinned by Robbie X, which is probably what made him earn the title shot in the first place. Anyway, Scotty Rourke. Let's see. So I've seen him have matches with Keenan. That was one. Like, he had a match with Felwell, where he nearly knocked a kid out cold doing one of his dives. He's got no limits. He's got no limits. And one of my favourite things to do, sorry Lucy, is to look at the back of the room when he's doing all this crazy shit and seeing Lucy's heart in her mouth because she's so scared that something's going to happen.
I found myself doing that at TNT.
He just does not care. He doesn't care.
Whatever happens, happens.
One of my favourite matches of the whole year was Scotty Rourke versus Joey Hayes.
That's always got to be a banger. That's always got to be a banger.
Just brilliant. It was just,
the match at Catch was phenomenal.
Oh, the
with Dynamite Lee, Joey Hayes, Scotty Rock,
Joe Kessler,
Joe Kessler, yeah.
Dynamite.
I'm thinking one more. There was one more, I'm sure of it.
Dynamite.
I'm struggling.
Right. So we had Dynamite, Kessler, Joey. Oh, that's gonna get on my nerves.
I'll look it up after the podcast.
I can't remember. Anyway, yeah.
Forgotten you, we do apologise.
He's on my list as well. Like, there was no way that he wasn't going to be on that list. You know, the guy's so young.
Which one's this?
Scotty Rock. The guy's so young.
Yeah, like, it is. It's mental.
This is the thing.
Insulting.
This is the thing.
Insulting that he is that talented at that age.
Absolutely, and you know, the only way is up with him. Like, when I saw when he won the TNT Ultra X Championship back in September, nobody expected it. Nobody, because he was in this match with Kid Lycos 2, Man Like DeReese, and Ethan Allen. And nobody expected Scotty Rock to win. And when he did win, the place erupted.
Yeah,
the place erupted.
Everyone loves Scotty.
You know, yeah, exactly.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't like Scotty Rock.
Absolutely.
Absolute gentleman of a human being, and all the talent in the world to be a top star. All the talent in the world.
Absolutely.
Amazing guy. So, yeah.
Right. I can't wait to see what next year holds for him.
Massively. It would be a massive omission if we don't have him on.
Yeah, exactly.
Your turn.
Okay. This, for me, well, it seems to be a newly formed tag team, but I wanted to sort of put them in at the same time, considering that the work that the two of them have done together has been fucking brilliant over the last few months, even if it only has been for a couple of promotions, namely based in Merseyside. But the tag team that I'm going to put in here is former guest of the show, Oscar Byron, and Danny Proper, the Salford Lads Club.
I've got Danny Proper on mine, and my thinking was if you have Danny Proper on, you've pretty much put Oscar in as well.
The Salford Lads Club. Now, you've got to look at like the build that they had for the tag team match that they had at Superstar Pro Wrestling. Let me just put this into perspective. Is supposed to be a small, little like family promotion with not many like branching out stories and all this sort of stuff. This went everywhere. It was on TNT Ignition. It nearly branched into Future Shock.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, going back, it does branch into Future Shock because Oscar Byron knocked Leon Gray out of the trophy tournament. So it does go all the way back to that. And then you had Danny Proper knocking Leon Gray off the turnbuckle with the bounce for the Crazy House, thinking he was a fan and nearly chucking him out. And then you had the bloke next to me who nearly knocked him out because he nearly went for his girlfriend. So I had to throw a pint over him to to defuse the situation.
It was one of the best nights I had in 2021. It was one of the best nights I've had in a long time. And I gotta say, for a man who hasn't wrestled a whole lot, Danny Proper is one of the most entertaining people in the entire business.
His character is brilliant. It's so like different. Like you don't you don't really see it anywhere else.
He's pretty much just himself. He's not too different to how he is as a person.
No, he's not. He's
just give him a microphone.
It's just him turned up to 11, and that's the best people. Those are the best people. Those are the best people in wrestling. Are the ones that are themselves and just turn it right up to 11, and that's what Danny Proper is.
Yeah.
I mean, Oscar Byron is a pretentious twat, but he's still a you know, the two of them together. It just works.
Yeah,
it just works. And you know what? Anywhere they go, they can try and get some, you know, ridiculous level heat.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking around the Northwest either. If they go down to somewhere like London, they will find something to pick at. Because this is what
down
these
south,
two.
when you've got a north and a down south, they're so arrogant that they'll think they've got the upper hand on us by
this is what, you know, yeah. But that's the tag team that I put in there.
Yeah, I can't argue.
Absolutely.
Proper and Byron, you don't like. Sorry, Made to Last, but they are so good. Made to Last are amazing.
Made to Last are good. Made to Last are a really good little team, but
awesome. I love Made
to Last. But they don't like the appeal that Oscar Byron and Danny Proper have is the just major twats, and they do it really well.
You don't want to cheer them, but you also do want to cheer them.
No,
you don't want to boo them.
Sometimes you get those. Sometimes you get. I don't want to call them smart asses, but sometimes you get people in the crowd that go, "Oh, I'm going to cheer the bad guy." You know, at some point within watching, people have done it before. Everyone's done it, you know, because they prefer the appeal of these two. You can't like get behind them on a let's see them win. You want to see them get the shit kicked out of them, and that is what, you know.
We're at. Sorry, I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit here, but we had promo class, and all Proper had to do was stand there. That's it. Just stand there. And you're sat watching someone cut a promo, and like, poor them, but whoever it was, just poor. You feel so sorry for him, because in the corner of your fucking eye is Danny Proper doing something. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's doing something that is making everyone try not to laugh, because you have to be quiet because he's recording the promo, and you just try not to laugh. But at the corner of your eye, you can just see Danny. And it doesn't matter what he's doing. He's just there. I love it. He's just. I love him. He's great.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious. Yeah, right. Who have you got next?
Of my main. Before I move on, I just want to say one thing. Yeah. One big moment of mine for Oscar Byron alone was. Do you remember at that LWF show, right? I think it might have been the one where you went upstairs. I think.
Yeah, I was stood on the balcony. It was part of the worst, wasn't it?
Do you know, there was a fight right at the end, a big brawl right at the end between Cutter and Reynaldo. Everyone from the back came out to try and sort it out. Helena came out with a can of Foster's like usual, which popped me. But everybody came out to try and help and separate them and everything. Oscar came out and stood outside. He went up the stairs a little bit.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that.
Just watched. I looked at him. I was like, just look at him. I was like, just look. And he just stood there, because you wouldn't expect Oscar Byron to get in the ring to separate a fight. He just stood there and watched in his, in his pillowcase.
Yeah.
And his pillowcase that he's cut holes into or something. Because I refuse to believe that he's bought that as a shirt. That is a pillowcase. Absolutely I refuse to believe that is anything other than an oversized pillowcase.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Moving on to my next one. I've got some big names on here. Tell you what, I've seen him a few times. I spoke to him on Saturday, and it really cemented how much of a legend this guy is, and someone we can see doing a lot more next year. And that's Stephen Cross.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He went out on Saturday. It was the other week, and he had glasses on. I looked at him, and the first thing I said to him was, "You're not as intimidating with your glasses on." He laughed and thanked me, and then offered me a drink.
Hey.
The first thing he said to me was, "Do you want a drink?" When he said thank you, laughed, and then said, "Do you want a drink?" It shows how nice that guy is. And if I wasn't buying my mate a drink, I'd have said yeah. I was already buying a friend a drink.
What? He's to see him come from where he came from, and still see him like continue to thrive is great. Because he's got that look. He's got the look. Mm-hmm. He only needs to look at you and you go, "You're a twat."
Straight away.
Yeah,
you know exactly. It straight away.
Exactly.
100%. You look at him, dickhead. Straight away. He just gives you that scowl. Yeah. He just gives you that scowl.
Dickhead with no hair.
You got your head on. Upside
down.
I wanted, when he faced Jack Roberts, we were itching to chant that, but we couldn't. Because who were you chanting it towards?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a beard. And Jack's got even more of a beard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Cross for me is someone who, as you said, instantly identifiable. Someone I can't really see his working face. I can't see that. I'd like to see.
I've never seen him
it happen.
I've never seen him work face ever.
I can't see it.
I've seen him wrestle for 3 years, and I've never seen him work face once.
I think this year will be huge for Stephen. I think it'll be huge for Stephen Cross this year.
Absolutely.
He's a really great guy. Another one. I've got to be saying that about everybody on here, to be fair, but he's fantastic and really good in the ring and believable.
Exactly.
Believable. That's the thing. You look at him and think, I don't like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Plain and simple, I don't like you. And that is everything you want in a heel.
Yeah, exactly.
He's great.
Exactly.
I've got a lot of time for him. I've got a lot of respect for Stephen Cross, and someone I might be dropping a message to from a certain podcast, maybe. He's great. Yeah. He's really great.
Yeah. Okay, so considering that we've gone basically heel here, I'm gonna stick a face in there, and I don't. This guy has, with the pandemic, putting into perspective. If you think about it, this guy has basically only been in the business for about 2 years. He left his old career behind to pursue wrestling. And he's endorsed by one William Regal. I'm of course talking about the natural born fighter, R.P. Davis. Yes.
I had an idea. That man is fantastic. That man is so great. I was talking to a colleague of mine at work who knew someone high up in A&E, high up, who had recently, unfortunately, untimely passed away. And he was in a wheelchair. And this man boxed, and he knew R.P. Davis.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
That, to me, talking to someone who just a colleague at work, you don't think about this stuff, how small of a world it really is.
I know.
Such a small world. Heart of Gold absolute
Yeah.
heart of gold RPD, and a man who can, well, quite proven, legitimately knock you the fuck out.
I've only seen him live like a few times. I mean, I saw him at Lucy's show, and then I saw him at TNT, and then, but the thing for me was I went down to Odyssey Pro Wrestling up in Morecambe. Now his music hit, and the whole place up on the feet. He didn't even need to walk through the curtain. His music hit, and that was it. Everyone was like that, and it's like it takes someone pretty special to just have the music hit and go,
Right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
That's
you
someone
know?
with the ability to really catch you there.
Whoa. And then
Naturally.
that night, right? That night he lost against Sam Bailey, right? Who who was wearing like his Dalmatian like sort of pants. It pissed him off because they are Dalmatian sort of pants. Anyway,
Yeah.
the kids thought it looked like it was like cow print. So all these kids started chanting, "No one likes a screaming cow" at Bailey. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about 5. I'm talking about the whole room all chanting this. And I think it was, I can't remember who it was, who I was stood at the back of the room with, but we were in fits of laughter because these kids had just come up with that. And it's like, fucking hell. Anyway, yeah. So, RP, if he doesn't pick some sort of title up next year, I will be very, 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 very surprised.
I haven't had the fortune of watching him live yet. The first time I met him was at the entrance class that Brooker did, and he was like he had these clothes on. He was getting changed. He was changing his pants to other pants and things like that. I think he'd been somewhere, so he was getting changed. And made getting changed because he knew me from my podcast because he supported me since day one. So
yeah,
right there, he's got a special place in my heart just for that alone.
Yeah.
And he's made getting changed. He goes, "Hi, how you doing? I'm RPD." I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" Bailey went, "Get changed first." He's mid getting changed. Like, "Hi, how you doing?" That's my introduction to RPD.
Listen,
the man's a saint.
if he's
an absolute saint.
If he's not everywhere next year, well, to be fair, my introduction to RPD, I was drinking a rum and coke, and he just tapped me on the shoulder and went, "You're right, Charlie." I'm like, "You know, you came out of nowhere." Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love
and then the other week at TNT, because it was part of the pre-show match with Sonic. So we came up to the balcony where my dad and I were sat. We were sat with Lizzie's family and all that sort of stuff. And he just came and came and introduced himself to me. Dad. And it's like little things like that, you know. He's such a lovely bloke. He's such a lovely bloke, you know.
Yeah.
But he knows what he's doing in the ring as well, because you know I've spoken to him at length about it in the past, but you'd think, well, it did happen to start with, where people looked at him and went, "Oh, well, the boxer's about to become a wrestler," and you know, give him a bit of a exactly. Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to get into the business. Look at the Miz. He came into MTV. There's no right or wrong way. As long as you have a passion for the business and you're doing all the right things and keeping your opponents safe, gives a damn. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Right, who have you got next? Oh God.
Mullet.
Oh,
Not
okay.
even sharp, because that man, in my eyes, can do no wrong. I haven't seen. I've seen enough. I've seen quite a few matches of his this year, but enough to know that he has so much more to offer, and there's so much more coming from him this year. I can't
Lachlan
wait.
Sharp is somebody who I saw coming from training at that other place. So I sat and I watched like shows with him, like coming up, with his character and all that sort of stuff. And he's just, another thing, like, it's really hard, really difficult for. I'm gonna be very careful how I word this. People from other countries, how they transition into other scenes.
Different way of doing things. If they're going to fit in with the crowd,
different ways of doing things in different places. Another thing with especially the British scene is they like to bullshit about where people are from.
Yeah.
This guy is a legitimate Australian. I can tell by his accent, and I'm only saying, and I'm saying that because my dad's an Australian anyway. So I knew he was, and as soon as he started speaking, I knew he was from Perth. But a guy like the way that he moves, he should not be able to move the way that he moves at his size. It's ridiculous, and I'm not even just talking.
He's athletic. He's strong.
And he's got a mullet, and he's able to do that with the mullet.
He's able to pull a mullet off. Who pulls a mullet off like that? He's brilliant.
He had an absolute stormer with 2-bit at the end of this year for the Future Shock Trophy final. It was between him and 2-bit. And people were instantly behind him, like that. Completely off topic because we're going to say something wrong, but 2-bit, honestly, like the guy is 20 and he's just going from strength to strength. The other week, I saw him have a match with Chris Ridgway. He hung in with Chris Ridgway for a good 20 minutes. And when I tell you that they kicked the shit out of each other, I mean it. Like the two of them. Match I need to watch. I was stood with the medic, right? I was stood with the medic. Yeah. I was stood with the medic, and Ridgway only needed to come out, and the medic looked at me and went, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh no! She literally had a head in her hands as soon as Ridgway's music hit. I've never seen somebody so annoyed that Chris Ridgway had come out. She was so miffed
concentrate.
She was so miffed off. Anyway.
Dr. Shop. Absolute talent. Absolute talent. Someone else who is organically over with the fans. Someone who genuinely.
I genuinely didn't expect him to be taken to the fans as easy as he has.
I see him as another type like Stunner who can work babyface perfectly. But I can see a good heel run in Lachlan as well. I can see it.
Yeah, eventually.
You can see it, can't you? Somewhere down the line.
Eventually.
Right storyline. The right storyline, the right way of doing it. I can see that. I can see it.
Eventually. Yeah.
Maybe he shaves the mullet.
He's got a bright future. He just needs to get places.
Yeah.
This is the thing. This is the thing with like, you know, when you get places and get moving, like take Synergy for example. You know, they were
CW.
in Future Shock
Yeah.
to start with. Is it? Yeah, Future Shock to start with, and then they've gone from Future Shock to Odyssey Pro Wrestling to sorry, Steve. The LWF was first because they put them together. Yeah, and then you know ICW on the net. You know, you don't
That's
just
massive.
get those. You know, yeah, right. So we're getting completely off topic here. Let's. This is what happens with these podcasts.
Yeah.
Right. So, let's go for a heel now. Okay. So, so this time last year, this guy created something which was supposed to take everybody away from what was going on. He has an acting background, so what he did with that, mixing wrestling with acting at the same time, was really, really clever. It's really quite nice to see him have his exposure the way that he's having it now. The first time I was actually introduced to the guy was when the promoters of Catch said to me, okay, well, we're booking this guy, and he's got charisma and his character is like completely off the chain. I thought, right, okay, fair enough. And I'm talking about Mr. Charles Crowley. Now,
I've only ever seen promos of his. I haven't watched him work.
Yeah.
Yet. His promos.
Even like a family show, he knows exactly how to like get under people's skin. Like at Wrestle, there's a video at Wrestle which I will send you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video of a promo that he did at Wrestle Carnival where the main event was Chris Ridgway and Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
But he like had this thing in his head that he was the main event. This is the main event. I'm the main event. So he's going, right, let's have a look at the roster members of Wrestle Carnival. You've got you've got Jonathan Gresham, who's just come over from the US by the skin of his teeth just to go and do this show anyway. You've got, and this was his words, not anybody else's. You've got Chris Foot Fetish Ridgway.
Okay.
Yeah. He then said,
he then
said you've got the old ball bag, Doug Williams. And then he said you've got the answer, Joe Hendry. And then he said that the only thing he's the answer to is why you should always wear a condom.
Always effective.
And he said that like at a family show. And it's like, but the thing is, he's the way that he carries himself, it's just the fact that he's only been in the business for 3 years. You just wouldn't know it. You wouldn't.
The acting background comes into play massively. His promos are different to literally anyone else you're seeing right now. And that alone sets him apart from everybody else.
I showed my mum and my dad, who have got no remote interest in wrestling whatsoever. They hate it. They absolutely hate the thing, right? So I showed them You're Currently Invited, which is the thing that he did last year, like during the lockdown, with all these bunch of wrestlers to sort of make people smile a little bit. And they sat and they watched this for 20 minutes, and they were mesmerized. They were mesmerized. And there's a reason why they were mesmerized, and that was because he knows exactly what he's doing.
Organic.
It takes somebody very, very special to go to drag people in who aren't really into wrestling. It's really, really, you know, it's
I
a
always
really special skill.
shows quite a lot. I've quite a few times I've seen people at a few shows saying it's my first time. How do you find it? It's amazing. I love it.
That was one of the best. It's one of the best things as a wrestling fan to see.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
especially people like us who have been there for years.
We've been there with Catch. Yeah, like with Catch, they run the bread shed, and the bread shed is like a student. It's in a student pub.
Yeah.
So these students will come into this pub during the show and have no idea what the other week when it was on at the beginning of December. They had these students come in, watch this one. I think it was Jesse Wolf versus Kid Lycos 2. And they just stood there and went, whoa, this is amazing. Like, they're actually kicking each other in the face. It's like,
because they all think because it's a work, they think they don't do anything. But at the last Catch show, the Catch show I went to, I was in Salford.
Catch 4, yeah, brilliant.
There was, because that, of course, again, those are students there.
Student pub, yeah.
We were sat on the other end, facing us on that end. At the end of the Ivy versus Lucia Lee match, when Ivy won, we were like all booing.
Ivy won.
This student, this uni student, stood up and went like that. Boo! Well, still clapping. Boo! Like that, because he just saw someone win, instantly just naturally just clapped, and then he's like,
that is brilliant. That is brilliant, honestly.
Forgot to stop clapping.
That is brilliant. That's so great.
Good. I loved it. It was fantastic.
Okay. Who have you got next?
Right, this is because I said there was one that I think is a bit weird. I'll tell you why. I put Northwest Strong in. And that's for for a few reasons. You look at the likes of the Young Guns and Ridgeway, and you think they're established. Everyone knows
where you're going with this.
Just by mentioning them, everyone was like, "Oh, some of the best going on the scene right now." Which
I know where you're going.
Would be a fraud to say no. But the rest of them have just joined. Oberman, Kessler, Keegan,
Krishna, and Oberman.
They've just joined. They now have, because let's be honest.
And Rio.
And Rio.
Who joined the last Tuesday night graph show.
Woman, she's not a man. I'm specifying that for a reason.
Yeah.
But they now, it's been a bit intermittent and everything. 2021's kind of been like the first full calendar year back.
Yeah.
This year, with COVID cases are rising, you never know what's going to happen. But at the same time, they now have, COVID permitting, a full calendar year to make an impact. Now, we know how good Kessler is. We know how good Oberman is. We know how good Keenan is. They are some top talent.
I spoke to Kessler because there's a lot of people, including myself, before I had this conversation with him, who basically had no idea where he was going with this gimmick that he's got with his face paint and his jackets and all this sort of stuff. So I ended up speaking to him at the bar up at the bread shed. He actually pulled me aside, asked me how the match was, which still blows my mind with wrestlers asking me how their match was and asking for, because I get asked for feedback and I'm like, I'm not a fucking wrestler. What are you asking me for feedback for? It's like
The takedown could have been a bit more snug.
but this, honestly, he said to me that his other persona was just dry and wasn't him, and nothing was. And I understand that. I understand that. So now that I know that the reason why he did and moved on to the Joe Kessler stuff, like one of the best matches that I've seen him have was during the Enigma series with Tom Felwell. And for me, that changed my perception on Kessler completely, because he absolutely smashed it.
Fantastic. He's really, really good. Really good.
Smashed it.
His
So
match
good.
Extreme Fears was fantastic. He's
Oh,
a really good talent. A really, really good talent, Kessler. And someone I can see really making an impact in 2022. As is the same for Scott Oberman, and as is the same for Keenan Krishna.
All those newer members.
Keenan Krishna, oh my God,
have a long, future ahead of him. Yeah, absolutely.
It is absolutely ridiculous how good Keenan is.
Yeah.
It's insulting in my eyes. He's fantastic. His match against Stonner Durson in my eyes is one of the best of the year. Again, in LWF. Phenomenal.
Him and Scotty Rourke was good. That was a good one. Him and Scotty Rourke was good. Yeah. That's a good. I understand why you've put that in the list. And it's not because of the established names of Ridgeway and the Young Guns. It is because of these new members, and people do take the piss out of Northwest Strong a little bit, because there's so many of them, and people.
I like that though. It's different. The British
I like that because it is quite funny watching people take the piss and go, who's going to get it was Quinn. Who's going to get
a
who's going to get a jacket next? Yeah, who's going to get a jacket next? Right. So let's see, because I said a heel last, so I'm going to say a face. Right. So you've never seen this guy before in person, but I don't know whether or not you've seen him on demand. The guy is from Birmingham, and he actually comes out rapping his own entrance. It's so clever. It's really, really good. His name is Man Like Derice.
I'm sure I've seen him before. Was he not at TNT?
No, he wasn't.
I'm positive I've seen him before. I have seen him. I don't that much.
Man Like Derice, he's a high flying guy from Birmingham. And this year I've seen him have matches with a guy called Joe Wade. That was great. It was brilliant. And then I've seen him have matches with Ethan Allen and Scotty Rourke, and when a guy like that raps his own entrance and does all that stuff, the first thing to come to your head is, right, he's done all the entrance bollocks. How's he going to be in the ring?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it doesn't lose. He's not lost in the ring because of this whole wrapping himself to the ring thing. He still knows how to do it. There's a load of chants as well, which Derice is on fire, or in the Tuesday night Grabster, and I'm not going to explain this, but we chanted Derice has got piles.
I've heard that. I've heard about that one.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's so many things that you can. He even gets like the crowd involved in his entrance. It's so like, you know, when I say 0-1, you say 2, 0-1, 2-1, you know, that little thing.
Yeah.
Away from everything else with the, you know, he's got it all.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
Yeah. Someone I'd like to go out to actually watch live.
And next year will be big. Next year will be big for him. Who have you got?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Tell you what. Lance Rivera.
Oh.
Big one. Yeah. First time I saw him was at Extreme Fields. And he took a hell of a Canadian destroyer from Miss Harley Hudson. And I had a good word with quite a few of the talent, as I'm sure you did too after the show. Or after the matches anyway. And he's impressed me a lot.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Looks like he's got his head on his shoulders, young again.
Proper heat magnet. He knew exactly what he was doing. And the thing is, with that 5-way, it was a 5-way Extreme Fields, right? So with 5 ways, it's really, really difficult to get your point across because there's so many people in the ring at the same time. He had no problem whatsoever to go ahead and just make the crowd absolutely hate him. Absolutely hate him.
Yeah.
It was...
He's awesome. He is. He's awesome. And when you've got someone who doesn't need to try to get booed, it's organic. You're gonna get booked. It's as simple as that. If it's organic, you're a heat magnet.
Yeah,
like JJ.
Exactly.
JJ's a heat magnet.
Yeah.
Lance Rivera is a heat magnet. Oscar Byron, Danny Popper, the heat magnets. Lance Rivera's like this year in my eyes is gonna be a big year for Lance Rivera.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay. So this guy, I have conversations about him quite a bit with other talent because for me he is severely underrated and severely underused, especially with the talent that he has. I have conversations with his partner quite a bit about the self-doubt that he has in himself. And I have no idea why he's got this self-doubt because he has talent in absolute buckets. And the guy that I'm talking about here is Brady Phillips.
His match at Catch against Ridgeway, they put that on as the kickoff to not the kickoff. They put that on as the starter, like the first match.
Yeah.
Did they just hate everybody else? Try following that.
There was a reason behind that, and they wanted to start the show off quite strong scales there. They wanted to start the show off quite strong, and that was the reason behind it.
It's very difficult when you've got a match of the year contender right off the bat to keep the crowd gripped throughout the show, but they did without fail.
It was, you know, I've seen Phillips go against Will Cruz, a guy called Will Cruz, guy called Callum Newman. He did a match with a guy called Callum Newman. Now, Callum Newman, is or was trained by Will Ospreay, a young lion. What you call it, but they did 20 minutes and they absolutely killed it. You know, there's not been one Brady Phillips match. This is another guy that I've just never walked away from a match and gone,
Yeah.
this,
Heat
you
magnet as
know,
well.
that could have been a little bit better. Absolutely not. This guy knows what he's doing.
Heat magnet as well. Another heat
you
magnet.
know,
He's brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic. And you usually find that a lot of the ones that are so damn talented that have that self-doubt, because a lot of them are perfectionists and they want to perfect their craft. So they're their own worst enemy, and nothing they do in their own mind will be good enough. Whereas everybody else is looking at them thinking they are fantastic.
His match with Scotty Rourke was brilliant. You know,
He's brilliant.
He just
absolutely
knows.
Brilliant.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's an absolute heat magnet.
Yeah.
And he's an
unit
absolute
as well.
heat magnet. But you know what else? Because with Tidal in Leeds, he's turning in to like an organic baby face, because he's putting on match of the night after match of the night after match of the night, to the point where the crowd go, we need to give this guy some respect.
Yeah.
Because this guy deserves it. And he's turned in to like one of the biggest baby faces in Tidal. And I laugh with Ivy quite a bit, because we sit there and we watch the crowd like get behind Brady Phillips, and we message each other and we go, "This is fucking weird."
Yeah.
We usually like chanting. One thing that you didn't really experience because the guys weren't really in there was the array of chants that Brady Phillips has. It's ridiculous. We will sit and we'll sing Britney Spears.
Hit
me Brady one more time. We had you've got You and Me, Brady Ain't Nothing But Mammals, all that shit.
Oh dear God.
Yes, yeah, you get all sorts
I think though as well, I think with a Ridgeway match, it's difficult to get chants in, because you are sat there and going, oh my God. You either too in awe of what you're watching to think of anything, or you're cringing at how
you mesmerized
his kicks are. So it in my eyes, Ridgeway commands a different type of respect from fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Brady Phillips is a top tier talent. Someone I actually did think you'd have in your top 10, so that's why I thought I'd be able to put somebody else in.
Okay, go on.
So my next talent, I'm trying to look and see who I haven't mentioned here. There's a few. Tell you what, this guy is my inspiration. I got some news, as I've said to you, I got some news not long ago about potentially stopping training. So I'm now thinking of my goal now being a manager.
I know where
this man is my biggest inspiration in wrestling.
I know exactly where this is going. I know exactly where this is going.
He is talented, and he is a bottomless bucket of wisdom that you can just talk to him, and anything he says to you is absolute gold.
Yeah.
The guiding light, Isaiah Quinn.
Yeah, he's just brilliant at what he does.
And one of the main reasons why I put him in is because
don't worry, you're not in retire. Yeah, he's just brilliant at what he does.
He's now a manager. He's now a manager, and
he knows.
By saying Quinn, I'd like to think by proxy I'm mentioning the worst as well. But Isaiah Quinn is Oh,
I was
everything he
really
touches turns to
gutted.
gold.
I was really gutted when he had to announce his retirement
Oh,
from
same.
in ring.
Oh my God,
Right?
it was
But
awful.
one thing that I knew from as soon as he announced his retirement from in ring was he had no, he was able to continue within the business because of his talent with character and promos and videos. And take when when we're all in lockdown, for example, and he did Guiding Light TV,
Yeah.
and he brought out like little snippets of different things. He got people together and he did this thing within when it was all like uncertain. The guy knows what he's doing. Whether it be the stuff with the worst, whether it be the stuff with Felwell that Catch are doing, which for me that solidified Felwell's heel, because Felwell's one of those people that you just love anyway. But having him with him helped to start with, because again, even though he's not a wrestler, now he's got such, and he'll know exactly what I mean when I say this, but he's got such a punchable face. Even though he's not a wrestler.
That smile just makes you want to stop.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, when I say this, I'm not sucking up to anybody or anything like that. I'm telling the God's honest truth when I say that man is my main inspiration in wrestling.
And you know what?
A legend of the business.
Because if you're in the position that you are and you still want to, you want to be a man, this is exactly what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He was presented with a situation that he couldn't get himself out of, but still wanted to be part of the business. Yep. And he's absolutely thrived with it. Even if the other week, and bless him, he dressed up as a Grinch, right? The other week, because I spoke to him afterwards, and he went, "Fucking hell, that costume's off."
Yeah. I spoke to him about that. Yeah. He's
right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We should probably move on because I can sit here and talk about him all night.
And I've still got one, 2, 3 left, and we've still got the women to do.
It might have to be split into 2 videos, I think.
Yeah, I have a feeling this might be, yeah. So next, probably going to be quite obvious, but I really want to see him elsewhere other than the Northwest, and that's JJ Webb.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Now,
when you talk about heat magnets, he's the blueprint.
Now,
he's the blueprint for me.
Listen, to start with, when he sort of started up, like he was this baby face, and
I was behind him.
Yeah, fantastic, and then he snapped, and it's like, right, this guy knows what he's doing. I will list a few things right now what he's done in the past. So he's spit chewing gum in my face. He's when we were in the situation that like we were all social distancing and all this sort of stuff, he said that he had 2 J's and my mum in his social bubble. Which people absolutely loved for some reason. He's nicked my glasses and shoved him down his tights. He's even mentioned me on commentary, right? A promotion that I knew the promoter, but I'd never been to one of the shows, and the promoter went, "He's just mentioned you on commentary and you're not even in the room." Like, right, okay, so what the guy knows what he's doing again. Like, you know, but he pushes it. He pushes it. One thing I had the conversation with you a few weeks ago was one thing that really needs to happen next year, and I don't care whether that's in catch or in like the TNT environment, is he needs to go to an over 18 environment, because he would just absolutely properly thrive.
God, I find it baffling that he hasn't already. He's tailor-made for that environment.
To be fair, he's probably banned from going for any of it.
He is tailor-made. In my opinion, it is harder to get over with the fans organically in a PG environment than it is in an 18+ environment. Because in an 18+ environment, you can use swearing as a crutch. PG, you can't. And JJ uses that to his perfect.
He doesn't even need to swear, but he borderline. He goes to the borderline, like.
Oh, he's a master at pushing that line. He's a master at pushing it. Yeah.
Tongue in cheek. It's like.
You just want to see him get slapped.
He's another, like, I was gonna walk away from wrestling at the back end of last year after you know, everything with that and that other situation, and you know, everybody knows what went on with British wrestling and all that sort of stuff. And I had Falcon actually message me and say, I'm one of his favorite people to piss around with. And the reason why that is, and I say this to a lot of people, because a lot of people go, well, why'd you let him get away with that shit? And I say to people, well, look, he wants a reaction, and he's doing everything he can to get a reaction. And whether that be shove my glasses down his tights, whether that be you know, doing a mum joke, whether that be you know, I think he told your mum to go and collect a pension once, you know, little things.
Felt old after that one. She felt old after that. I've reassured her, not worried, but yeah, that popped me. Made me laugh anyway. It made her laugh when she like, you know, yeah, she felt a little old after that one, but JJ is, as I said, the blueprint for like the most organic, hateable heel. He's the blueprint that people look towards in my eyes. If you're aspiring to get into the business by any means whatsoever, and you're wanting to play heel, and you're looking for inspiration, get on demand.
Go to him.
JJ.
Go to shows. Yeah. Go to
JJ.
Go to him.
Simple as that.
I'm still gonna kill Leon Gray for doing that UFC meme last year.
I can't kill Leon Gray for anything because he did that football picture. So
that was hilarious.
That was banging. That was so good.
I spent the whole day laughing at that.
That was fantastic. So funny. I was very, very happy with that one.
Right, go. What have you got? We've got 2 left each.
Have we?
Yes, because I've still got 2 left.
Oh, have either of us mentioned Dynamite Lee?
No.
In that case, I got 3 left.
Huh?
That's my next one.
Okay. Yeah.
Have I done it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I've got 3 left. Dynamite Lee, someone who, again, so young, so organic, hilarious, amazing lad, and oh my god, when you talk about over with the fans, oh my lord, I don't know if there is anyone more over than Dynamite Lee right now. He's
Catch in particular.
If he doesn't, for the rest of his career, if there's one show where he doesn't come out with a woolly hat on, I won't be happy.
This is the thing. Like I spoke to both him and his girlfriend, and his girlfriend said Hope basically said to me, I just asked him if he wanted to go out with this woolly hat, and I didn't think he was going to do it. It's now part of his fucking genes.
No, it's him now. People won't accept him without that now.
Yeah, exactly. So
and one person who won't shut the fuck up about him on Twitter is Danny Proper.
One thing that you missed at the last Catch show was it was a six-man tag match between Miles Kamen, Joe Kessler, Keenan Krishna, and it was Big Guns Joe, Chris Egan, and Dynamite Lee. Dynamite Lee came out with his bubble hat and all that sort of stuff, but so did Chris Egan and Big Guns Joe. So they all had bubble hats themselves. It's like, yes. He's going places.
Yeah, massively.
He's going to go places.
Now, I've mentioned the word organic a lot here, and that's Dynamite. Huge.
Yeah. Now, the big example of this, and I think this is where we can obviously very nicely shut this off, is Extreme Fields. Now, he wasn't meant to be the opponent for Nathan Cruz. Nathan Cruz's opponent was supposed to be Dan Maloney, but he wasn't there. Wasn't there. But his music hit. I knew instantly it was Dynamite Lee. I told you, you looked at me and went, no, he's not quick. And then he came out, right? There was me, you, Eisenstein.
I'd seen him before the show started, but it was late on. I forgot.
Kelly Van Ness. Harley Hudson and Danny Proper, right? Who Danny was drunk as a skunk at this point.
So was Kelly. Kelly. Oh my god, Kelly was wasted. When he came out, when Dynamite Lee made his entrance, Kelly ran forward within an
Kelly ran to the ring.
It's like, calm, come on. Top of the night. Top of the night. And I mentioned it to him on the podcast as well. Top of the night.
So good. And
I love him. I absolutely love him.
But the thing is, and this is the thing, that was his TNT debut.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying to the promoter, because I'm good mates with the promoter, and I said to him, look, this guy came in as a replacement, and a replacement, and he blew the roof off the place, completely blew the roof off the place, and to me, as much as late on as the match was, that had nothing to do with people drinking. He was just instantly like that, and people were into him. Maybe that to an extent that might have something to do with the fact that Nathan Cruz was such a prick, or
that helped. But I think it was an organic reaction because as soon as everyone realised,
proper organic.
As soon as everyone realised who it was, that reaction was that's there was 100% Dynamite there.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on because we are going right. Short and sweet. Tom Farwell, easy. The stuff that he does with Quinn, it's the first time I've seen him play heel. It works. I mean, the promoters were shitting themselves at the back of the room when everybody was cheering Farwell over Sexy Kev when he won that catchweight title. The promoters
Oh,
messaged me.
wow.
Yeah, the promoters messaged me and went, "How are we going to salvage this?" And it's like, yeah, don't worry, you'll be fine. But then you've got like, he was a last minute replacement at Tidal the other week, and he had a match against Luke Jacobs. Oh my God.
Oh, did you have a chest left?
Oof.
Oh.
So the two of them knocked lumps out of each other. Lumps. Absolute lumps. It was one of the matches of the year. By far.
You can't put anybody in the ring with Luke Jacobs.
Let's see. So you had this year we've had Farewell Kessler, we've had Farewell Scotty, which is happening again on the 7th of February. Plug. Bread Shed, Monday Night Catch, tickets, and yada yada yada. You're welcome, Ben. So
you can pay Palin the money.
yeah, the checks in the post. Yeah, you know, Farewell knows what he's doing, and again, he is so young, and he's got so much ahead of him. Like,
someone I expected again, before I expected to be on your list. So I was thinking a couple of people I expect him to be on your list, so I think maybe bring somebody else so I don't think I'm going to mention.
Okay.
Farewell's fantastic talent. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Who have we got? That's two.
Declan McCarthy.
Oh.
Badass. Absolute badass.
Now this is somebody,
organic heel.
This is somebody who I saw the promo. For me, it was a bit of a missed opportunity a few months ago with him. I think it sort of fell flat a little bit, and that wasn't his fault, because the promo that he cut against Chris Egan was so like, I want to kill the little shit. You know, he's so brilliant. He's fantastic.
So I'll tell you something for nothing. Yeah. One little catchphrase like that. That's it. Yeah. So you need, for someone like him, that's all you need, because he's organically a badass. He really is. You look at him and think he is capable of twisting me like a pretzel.
He's gonna be everywhere. He's gonna be everywhere.
He is. He should be. 100% should be.
So my final person is somebody who we mentioned before, just very briefly, and that is the innovator of excellence, Robbie X.
Yeah.
Now,
big yes. Yeah. Big yes. Massive, just awesome talent. We mentioned him before. Everything we said about him holds true. He's fantastic.
The main thing that we did mention before in this is a thing, like, we're both missing that match between him and Scotty Rourke, and the reason why we're so gutted is because these two people are just such good talent.
Yeah.
And we want to be there to see it in person.
Yeah. These two people you'd pay good money if these two people are on the card. You'd pay good money to see them.
2 years ago, I saw him face a guy called Sean Custom, right? Who called himself the Thunder from Down Under, all that sort of stuff, right? Relatively unknown, this Robbie X. I knew who he was beforehand, but relatively unknown, this Robbie X. These two did 20 minutes, and the whole crowd were standing up on their feet, clapping their hands. They had no other option but to do that. No other option.
Robbie X is going places, and I can't wait to see him go places. He's a phenomenal talent and can do things that no human should be able to do. And so can Scotty.
I just hope he can stick around with us for just a little bit longer, just so that we can see him just that little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Who've we got last bloke, last man?
It's a team, actually, and we're on about them before we started recording, and that is the Wrecking Crew. So I love them with all my heart, and I mentioned this to Bibby, to Steve, and it was at the party, and he got a little giggle out of him when I told him, no disrespect whatsoever, I love Reynaldo, but I said to him, I'm a Nick Cutter fan. And he just laughed and went, I know. The Wrecking Crew. Nick Cutter has taken to his leader role stunningly. Chris Stone is a man that can do things. He's a big guy who can move. He can do things that he shouldn't be able to do. He's so good, nimble, athletic.
I spoke to Chris Stone quite a bit.
David Getsky. Oh my days.
Chris Stone is somebody who I spoke to quite a bit
awesome
at
guy.
Extreme Fields.
Chris Stone's a legend. Really sweet guy.
He's, really nice guy.
Yeah.
David Getsky, he knows what he's doing. And Nick,
love Getsky.
The thing with Nick Cutter, and this was why the Wrecking Crew was to me, it was a blessing for him.
Yeah.
Because before the Wrecking Crew, he was trying to be like this baby face. And although certain people were getting behind it, it just wasn't working. So the whole Wrecking Crew thing sort of gave him a rebirth, so to speak.
It was tangible. It gave him something to sink his teeth into. It gave him a direction. Sometimes that's all you need is one little tweak, that one change in direction. And look at him now. Look at him now. Oh,
exactly.
Main eventing RWF. That's massive.
Biggest show of the year as well. Biggest
show of the year. Main event.
Don't forget about that. Don't forget about that.
In the town hall.
Fun tax.
Mad.
On a PG show.
I didn't expect it at all. But that's awesome.
Because don't forget, in the past we've seen like people like Holly Barlow and Lana do the thing like with Harry Boats and
Harry Boats. That was so good. That match was one of my favourite in Future Shock history.
We'll probably talk about that within the next topic of next part of this episode, the next episode. But my point is, we never expected the fact that it was going to be Thumbtacks. We thought it was going to be something like Harry Bows or something like that, with it being a PG show. So when it was Thumbtacks, and we're going, okay.
You get a whole new level of respect for someone who's willingly put his body into Thumbtacks. Mad level of respect there, and Cutter.
Fair play.
The Wrecking Crew as a trio are awesome. That
for me is a very interesting and good way to shut off this portion of the 2020.
If you agreed, thank you very much. I apologize because there are some omissions.
Absolutely.
It pains me. It really pains me. There was 2-bit was mentioned, and I'd just like to say that man is an absolute unit and will be a force. He really will be. It's putting these lists together is very, very difficult. I hope you understand. I hope you agree with our choices. That is it for episode 1 of this 2-parter, because for some reason
we just ramble on,
both of them into one video. Look who I'm talking to. It's not going to happen.
We just ramble on.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you very soon.